So, is anyone surprised? We know that Google's been doing this for a while. Like, we know that they do this stuff. They outright say that they push stuff that they want people to see. Whether it be, and you might, on YouTube, you see it as well. If you're not political, no, you go onto your homepage and there's like all these freaking mainstream media channels and everything that they're trying to promote and push. And it's pretty much whatever ideals they have. And we know it's been going on. But Screen Rant, The Gamer, Collider, and CBR parent company threatens journalists who researched into Google algorithm bias for their new site. Will they be able to overcome this lawsuit? Find out on the next exciting episode of Dragon Ball Z. No, you can really anything you talk about, you could turn into a promo type thing of the, will they be able to? But that's no, try not to do that. But that's how life goes. Sometimes you can go do one thing and you could find yourself making it some completely different. It's we all do it sometimes, I think. This reminds me of a time I was with my good friend Orville. I can't even do his voice sometimes without busting out laughing because it's just, now that's a voice that you get lost in. I find myself able to just talk about the most random, like I did a World of Warcraft video, right? Where I just sat on the screen, the character screen for like 30 minutes and I told a story about how like Mr. Hippo, and I think what was it? Talking about a fish place that he used to go to, and how it closed down, and like he found a new place that was run by like this elderly couple, and he's talking about the fish, and in like 30 minutes I'm just doing the stupid voice talking about Mr. Hippo and his obsession with this fish place that used to be around, and it doesn't take any thought at all. It's weird. Like normally I have to actually think about what I'm talking about. With Mr. Hippo, your brain, it's like autonomous ultra instinct. You don't need to think about it. But anyway. Christmas is coming up next week. Maybe I should do, maybe. Unless that's gonna freaking get demonetized too. So real quick, last year, I think it was last year. Last year I did a video of reading out Walkin' in a Winter Wonderland in the voice of Christopher Walken. And it got demonetized. No swear words, no nothing. It was just me doing this for I don't know how long. It was just walking in a winter wonderland. Sleigh bells ring. Are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening, and it got demonetized somehow. And then I sent it to get manually reviewed, and it still came back. It was like, yes, it's confirmed by a person that it's unsuitable for. I was like, what? Anyway. Valnet, the parent company of Screen Rant, also for people. I'll probably put that in there at 4 minutes if you don't want to listen to the random banter. 4 minutes. Valnet, the parent company of Screen Rant, CBR, Collider, and The Gamer, are becoming well known for their censorship and agenda transcending any news that they produce. Now, film journalist Josh Tyler is exposing legal demands the company is making to silence him. Everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. Last month, Fandom Pulse had a former employee of Screen Rant come forward anonymously to tell us about the working conditions there, forcing the DEI agenda at the expense of journalism. I mean, yeah, that's basically every outlet now. I mean, you have IGN, Kotaku, Polygon, The Gamer. All of these places used to be reputable sources. Now they're just left-wing DEI crap. You know, you get articles like how this game made me appreciate my sexuality, or these characters helped me discover that I was gay, and the top best sex scenes in Dragon Age: The Veilguard. So you know, you get stuff like that. You get stuff like that, and then you wonder what happened. You know what happened 20 years ago. These outlets were so good. You know, IGN, Kotaku, they were reputable sources, and then people, I remember going in and looking at some of their articles or what have you, and was like, wow, very fair and unbiased. Nowadays, you know exactly what they're gonna say. You know that IGN's gonna give it a 7, and you know that Kotaku, their journalistic integrity is gone. Um, like many mainstream news agencies, Screen Rant the Gamer, CBR, and Collider, all owned by Valnet, are reliant upon Google search and discovery algorithms, pushing them at the expense of other news outlets to get their stories seen. A pop culture journalist insider told Fandom Pulse the strategy behind these sites is to spam as many articles as possible to dominate search engine optimization. Yeah, like if you're looking for, say, an article that might belong to a pundit that's maybe more right wing, then you're going to probably be scrolling for a while, especially if it's Google, at least. Yahoo and the other search engines, Yahoo I can pretty much find almost right away. But sometimes with Google, you're just like page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, page 5, until you finally get the result you're looking for, because it's just buried under so much crap that they're wanting you to see. It's like with election stuff. You know, you look up anything, you know, positive about Trump or something, and there'll be something there, but you got to go to like page 5 or 6 to find it, because everything else is just bashing him, bashing him, bashing him, bashing him, bashing him. And then you finally find one that isn't, and it's on like page 5 or 6, but no one's going to really want to sit there, just page after page after page, and you're just going to give up. So it's the same thing with them when it comes to like games. uh Google's going to prioritize places like this who are more left leaning, who have ideals and the ideologies that line up more with theirs, and they're going to promote them more, you know, get them into the top searches. I mean, again, we know that they've been doing this. We know that they've been doing this, but the fact that they're going after someone just because they're kind of exposing the crap, exposing what we've already known. So I mean, a pop culture journalist and blah blah blah. Many have noticed that there appears to be some kind of corruption present here, and certain sites seem to come up far more often than others. There is even speculation of a pay-to-play situation with companies like Valnet, which calls into question both Google and Valnet's publications' objectivity. Joshua Tyler wrote an expose on how these Google searches worked for the mainstream media, to which he alleges he was sent a cease and desist letter from Valnet. Well, the people there sound like they're a word that I'd love to say. It's Melanie Mack's favorite word. So I can't say it. I wish I could, but people are too sensitive now. And you know, it just reminds me of that scene from South Park where the boys are trying to explain that just because you say that word doesn't mean you're talking about a homosexual man. You're just talking about a stupid, inconsiderate douchebag who is just absolutely ridiculous. Um, that's such a great scene. This is making insanely good sense to me. Um, Tyler posted on his site Geek Freak in Robot. Earlier this week, Valnet, the media company who owns websites such as Screen Rant, Game Rant, MovieWeb, Collider, and CBR, issued a cease and desist letter in which it claims my journalism disparages, tarnishes, and damages Valnet's reputation. The defames Valnet's credibility, constitutes harassment, contains abusive statements, and intentionally and maliciously spews false, frivolous, and slanderous accusations about Valnet. No, this sounds something more like they'd be talking about Google, talking about Google. They're saying that these places are preferred and get special treatment, but they seem like they're talking more about Google for being the ones who promote it. It's not these outlets who are promoting themselves, it's Google who's pushing them to the top. Despite the cease and desist letter, he stated he'll refuse to back down in posting about the Google algorithm, and the state of online news. Tyler posted on Twitter about the situation. Screen Rant owners Valnet have issued new demands to silencing my report, listening to Twitter posts that I must remove. If I fail to do so, they've informed me Valnet will be monitoring all my articles, social media posts, and other public activities in order to take legal action. Yep, they seem to be more and more getting closer to more and more to becoming that F word that I really, really want to say. Let's see. In the forwarding, Valent reiterates its demand that Mr. Tyler must immediately cease and desist from making further false and defamatory accusations with respect to Valnet. Immediately. Yes, immediately. Take the necessary steps to remove the post regarding Valnet from Twitter and any other media platforms that may have been published. Immediate withdraw all unfounded and defamatory statements and allegations made, reposted and relayed and confirmed to the unsigned once this has been done. Valnet will continue to monitor your client's articles, social media posts, and other public activities and will not hesitate to take legal actions as it deems necessary to protect its rights and interests. Get what I'm gonna say because I'm not gonna say it. I really want to because that's what you people are. He also posted a screenshot, which goes in the thread, and yeah, we just read that. The legal threats against someone into looking into Google seeming to prioritize the sites like ScreenRant and CBR in the algorithm are bizarre if they're not occurring, which only fuels speculation of the lack of objectivity in online news reporting. Fanapol started on Substack because Google took to throttling our main site in 2024. Our results were popping up at the bottom in both discovery and search results, and once we were gaining traction during the Sweet Baby controversy, Google pushed those results to 0, where it remained for more than a month. It appears as if advertisers, search engines, and media outlets are colluding to keep certain sites preferred as online news sources, even in entertainment. You don't say. It's important to support our Substack. Yeah, I mean, another one of those, it only matters who counts the vote things. There's even speculation of a pay-to-play situation with companies like Valnet, which calls into question both Google and Valnet's publications' objectivity. With Google, that could be given. Google has gathered people's information and used it to push advertisements for other companies. A pay-to-play would be perfectly within Google's business goals. A smart company would be dumb to not pay Google or try to figure out the algorithm. Why deny it? If I had the money, I'd pay Google for ad space. Yeah, they're trying to make it seem like it's something like, an under the table kind of deal or something. No. Just you're paying Google to push your articles. Okay? Like, nothing to be ashamed of, sweetie. Everyone does it sometimes, okay? So just stand proud, stand tall, and say, yes, I am doing it. And just be proud of who you are. Because, I mean, it's like the people who, well, that's more illegal anyway, so it's not really a great comparison. Like the people who like pay for views, pay for views, you know, you're wanting to get seen, wanting to get out there, so you pay for views, your numbers go up, your stuff becomes more noticeable and public, and suddenly those paid views are getting you actual views. But that's really frowned upon, so people don't really like it. But here you have Google, you have places like CBR and Screen Rant publications, and in order to get seen, to make sure they're at the top, because they want to be the most trusted sources in gaming news or pop culture news, they're paying Google, which it's not like it's illegal. So why are they trying so hard to hide it? Actually, I would say that, but never mind. Because I don't need people bitching at me. I really don't. Of course, they're going to bitch at me regardless. So, you know, they're well, okay, it's like it's like an autistic kid, right? You know, sometimes they're doing something that they know that we see is perfectly fine. We see is perfectly fine. Like my cousin, his name is Matthew. And when he was younger, he was really bad with it because he was autistic and stuff. And I remember going in and he was on the computer and he was looking at, I think it was like a WWE site, but then he like clicks away from it and covers it like he was doing something bad. When what he was doing was perfectly fine. It's like, okay, you're looking at a wrestling site. And that's what these people are. Is like they're like that kid who's like doing something that everyone would see as just perfectly normal, but they're like trying to cover up the screen and pretend like it's not happening. It's like, why don't you just admit it? Not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal. And the fact that they're trying to go after someone to try to keep this widespread, well-known secret under wraps is just completely ridiculous. It's completely ridiculous. Um, and regarding my cousin, I know not all people with autism do that. It's just for my case, that's what my cousin did. You know, he's on a WWE site, and you walk in, and he covers it up like he's watching porn or something. So, what we see is perfectly normal. They're like, "Oh no, no, you can't see this. Don't look away." So it's exactly what these people are doing. They're doing something that everyone knows they're doing something that's perfectly fine and legal, but they're like, no, no, you need to look away, and if you don't, we're gonna sue you. I mean, come on, guys, come on, come on. But you know, do I agree with the paying? It's like whatever, whatever. What I don't agree with is them trying to silence someone for basically exposing something that we kind of already knew. We already knew. I'm like, Google admitted to doing it with the elections, which is how we know that, yeah, the news sites, you know, gaming sites will have that same benefit, especially when they're more left leaning. It's not that big of a deal. Like seriously, guys. But yeah, I'm not surprised. Everyone's known this. Like I said, it's a pretty open secret. Google does it again with mainstream media all the time. You'll still, like say, you go on like YouTube and you have all this crap pushed that you don't even care about. You know, mainstream media sites and channels and people who agree more with them. You go to Google and same thing. It's well-known secret, but going after someone because of that, come on, come on. Anyway, that's gonna do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.